Welcome to this explainer. Look, if you've ever found yourself craving an incredible homemade pizza, but then instantly dreaded the flour-covered countertops, the endless kneading, and just the frustrating sticky mess, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're unpacking a downright revolutionary method sourced straight from Alta cooking recipes that is going to completely change how you make pizza at home. No special equipment, absolutely no exhausted arms, just brilliant technique.
We don't buy pizza anymore. That bold, captivating claim comes straight from the recipe's creator. Just think about that for a second. To completely swear off ordering delivery because your homemade version is just that good, and honestly, that easy. Today we're going to see exactly how this specific recipe delivers on that massive promise by breaking down the science and the simplicity of their approach.
So let's dive into this comparison. We're directly contrasting the exhausting traditional method, the heavy hassle of kneading for 10 minutes and rolling out stubborn dough, with this brilliantly simple 5-minute active prep approach. It's literally all about maximizing your flavor output while minimizing your physical input. It's efficiency at its absolute most delicious.
Okay, part 1, the no-knead dough. Let's get right into creating the smooth and simple base without any of the heavy lifting.
Precision is definitely key here, but check this out. The ingredients are just basic pantry staples. We're talking 3 grams, or about a teaspoon, of instant yeast, a touch of sugar, some warm water, a splash of olive oil, 150 grams of flour, and a little salt. You really don't need fancy, expensive Italian 00 flour for this. The magic is in the method.
The process itself is wonderfully simple. Just 3 quick steps. But listen, do not rush step 1. You have to start by making sure the instant yeast is fully dissolved in the warm water so it activates perfectly with the sugar. That sugar acts like food for the yeast, basically waking it up so it can do all the heavy lifting of creating air bubbles for you. Once that's happy and dissolved, just toss in your olive oil, flour, and salt, and mix it into a dough.
35. So the crucial point here is 35 minutes. That is the exact amount of time you need to wait for this dough to rest, rise, and be ready. During these 35 minutes, the flour is hydrating, the gluten is relaxing, and the yeast is building that gorgeous, airy structure. You're doing zero work, but chemically, the dough is doing absolutely everything. Those microscopic yeast cells are metabolizing the sugars, releasing carbon dioxide, and effortlessly expanding the dough for you. As you let it rest, keep this golden rule in mind. Smooth dough equals amazing pizza. That smooth texture means the ingredients are fully incorporated and the gluten network has formed nicely entirely on its own. A smooth dough translates directly to that amazing, airy, crispy pizza crust we're all chasing.
Part 2, the 4-minute sauce. Get ready for some lightning-fast flavor. Let's move to the next step, because while the dough works its magic, we're making a vibrant sauce.
You're going to need 400 grams, which is about 1 2/3 cups of peeled tomatoes, a quick 10 milliliter splash of olive oil, and your favorite herbs to taste. The recipe specifically calls out salt, pepper, oregano, and basil. Notice how simple this is? We are not boiling down a complex ragu for hours on end. We're just letting the bright acidity of the tomatoes and those aromatic herbs take center stage.
The creator of this recipe actually pauses to ask viewers this exact question in the comments, which is a great prompt for us to think about right now. Like, are you a purist who only uses crushed San Marzano tomatoes and a pinch of salt? Or do you like yours heavy on the garlic and oregano? The beauty of this explainer is you can adapt this quick technique to whatever flavor profile you absolutely love. Making this sauce is staggeringly fast. You just combine your ingredients, let them simmer on a low heat for exactly 4 minutes to meld the flavors together, and then, this is super important, let the sauce cool. If you put a screaming hot sauce onto your beautifully proofed dough, it's going to ruin the yeast structure and make the dough gummy. So just let it cool down while your 35-minute dough timer finishes up.
Part 3, the 2-step bake. This is all about brilliant assembly, and honestly, where home ovens finally compete with pizzerias.
First up, assembly. Grab an 11-inch or 28-centimeter pan, prep it with oil and a dusting of flour to prevent sticking. Now, throw out the rolling pin. Simply grease your own hands with a little olive oil. This prevents the sticky dough from clinging to you and lets you easily, gently press and spread the dough right into the pan. Then just spoon over that perfectly cooled sauce we just made.
Before you bake, you have to make sure you've cranked your oven. You need it blazing hot, specifically up to 250 degrees Celsius, which is roughly 480 degrees Fahrenheit. Pizza relies on intense, immediate heat to get that rapid rise, what bakers call oven spring, and to crisp the bottom before the top dries out.
Now, the true genius of this recipe is the 2-step bake. Don't just throw everything in at once.
First, you cook just the dough and the sauce for 10 minutes. This gives the wet dough a chance to firm up and cook through without the cheese acting as a blanket that traps in the moisture. Then, you pull it out, add your mozzarella, a drizzle of olive oil, and some oregano, and throw it back in for the final 7 to 10 minutes. This gives you a perfectly cooked, crispy crust and cheese that is beautifully melted and bubbly, rather than burnt to a crisp.
Part 4. Your perfect pizza. Time to customize and, the best part, enjoy.
The creator explicitly asks what toppings you would add to this base, really inviting you to make this efficient recipe entirely your own. We kept it simple with a margarita style today, but imagine laying down some spicy pepperoni right before that second bake, or, oh man, some fresh prosciutto and arugula the second it comes out of the oven. The canvas is yours.
And this brilliantly illustrates the core message of our explainer today. You do not need to be an artisan baker with a massive wood-fired oven in your backyard to make great pizza. By working smarter, not harder, by using time instead of elbow grease, and a clever two-step bake instead of a specialized pizza stone, you bypass all the hard work and still achieve incredible homemade flavor. So, armed with this seriously simple method, I highly encourage you to head into your kitchen to try it out. As the original creator says, bon appetit. But I want to leave you with this thought. Next time you reach for your phone to order a mediocre, expensive delivery pizza that takes 45 minutes to arrive, ask yourself, couldn't you just make this masterpiece yourself with literally 5 minutes of actual work?